Alright guys, it is finally time, hopefully, to install our Thundermax. Alright guys, if you do not know, this is our 2008 Dyna Lowrider project, and we need to put a Thundermax in it. So, if you are interested in this bike, we do have a playlist going on for it. We've done a lot. Now it is time to throw a tune in it. We need to get all this off and access the stock ECU and switch it out for this. So let's get to that. Alright, this is what you got to deal with sometimes buying a used bike. So when I took this cover off when I first got it, it had a Vance & Hines FP4 plugged into it, which is something you shouldn't have to do. I'm sure you can leave it in there, but this is just something where you download a tune and call it a day. And I thought that's all we had, but I did think it was strange that the O2 sensors were bypassed. They wasn't running O2 sensors on this bike. So I was like, okay, maybe they did something in there. Well, now I'm trying to take this ECU out, and what do we find? We find a dang power commander. So why in the world do we have a power commander piggybacking off of the ECU that we had a Vance & Hines plugged into? This is the type of stuff that just is insane. I didn't know any of this was on it when I got the bike. I wish it was stock. That'd have been much easier, but now I'm going to try to fiddle with this and figure it out. And we'll get that Thundermax in there and try and hope that everything runs okay. We're going to see, but let me fiddle with this and see what happens. So basically, what we have here is all three types of tuners in like all at one time. Obviously, you have the stock ECU, and then this is just basically like a flash device. This just flashes your ECU with a new map. You can make some small changes, whatever. The power commander that's hooked up is called a piggyback. That runs in line with your ECU. Basically, not tricking, but kind of getting in between. And instead of having to do all new software, it can make changes. And then we're going to install a brand new ECU that's going to run all the functions of the bike. That should be better than both of these combined, because you definitely should not combine both of these. So let's get into trying to fix this. Alright, so we got all that garbage out. These two should be gone. And yeah, just get out all this crap, because that's best how it piggybacks. That's the module that makes changes. That goes into the ECU, I believe, and that's what would come from the ECU, but it routes into there, into the ECU. And of course, that's just like a flash unit. So let's get rid of all that stuff and just put a Thundermax in here and see if we can't figure it out. All right, we have the ECU installed. We have the wire hooked up to the computer. We have our O2 sensor wires ran, so they're hooked up. We already had the O2 sensors hooked up in the exhaust. We knew we were going to need them. They're already in there. And like I said, the exhaust or the O2 sensors were bypassed previously anyways. So we threw the Thundermax ones in when we did the exhaust install, and that's when we found out. So now I think we're pretty much ready. What we're going to have to do is go get our computer with the software already installed, hook this thing up, and I guess register it and put a tune in it, and then go from there. Definitely don't take this video as a tutorial or anything like that. I'm sure there's better videos out there. And Thundermax has a really good customer support. Ask them any questions you may have. I'm just documenting my process throughout this, and hopefully everything goes well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have pretty much gotten this figured out. The GoPro battery was pretty much dead, and I was kind of in the middle of it, so I kept going. Again, this is not an instructional video. I just kind of wanted to document my process, but it was very important for me to do this right. So that was my goal. I did want to record, but I cared the most about getting this done right. So let's kind of go over it and we'll start the bike. First and foremost, computer and bike should be hooked up to power. Yes, I know my garage is a complete mess. We just got back from Mama Tried. We're trying to get this bike ready for Daytona, which is in like 3 days. It is what it is. But anytime you're doing anything ECU related, hook your bike up to a battery tender. Make sure your computer's got power. I actually hooked it up to the wall because you do not want anything to happen while you write a program. But we basically have the computer hooked up here. We followed the instructions as we went. Honestly, the software was prompted pretty well, that you didn't really need to do much. I will say it kept telling me to like search the internet for an updated file. Every time I would do the updated file, then it wouldn't let me load that file. It was weird, so I just didn't update it. I just loaded the file. I just found a 96 cubic inch stock cam, stock motor with their 2-in-1, I think it was D&D Fat Cat exhaust. It's not what this is, but it's a 2-in-1 exhaust. It's going to be close. So we use that to get us close, and then this computer should kind of work its way out of, you know, figuring out what we're doing. That's the plan anyways. So I need to button up the box where the ECU is, put everything back together. Then I want to push the bike out, run it for a few minutes, make sure it's running okay. And then I'm not going to ride it tonight. It's dark. This bike has had so much work done to it. Don't want to ride it at night, and I don't want to ride it to work because I don't quite know if she's reliable. But we're going to go get some gas tomorrow and put some gas in this thing, get her running, and we should be good from there. Put some miles on it and hope everything works. But let's get this thing put back together, get her down on the ground, then we'll start her for you and see how it goes. All right, I'm gonna start it up real quick. I gotta use both hands because pretty sure the whatchamacallit is bad, the little neutral safety switch. All right, so it runs. Tomorrow we're gonna actually ride it and check it out, and hopefully everything works well. But it does currently run. I did check the rev limiter, checked a few different things. Keep up on this build if you want to pay attention to this dyno. I know this video is probably pretty short, and you're probably maybe came here for informational stuff on how to install this thing, but that's not quite what I was doing in here. I just wanted to document this as part of the build, show you guys we have a Thundermax. But let me go over some tips of what I learned while installing this. So if I was going to give you some advice to install this Thundermax, first thing I would do, open up the package, open up the instructions, read them. They tell you where to go on the website. You go to the website, you download all the software for the actual like tuning software you saw on the computer there, and go ahead and install it. Get all the updated versions, get everything you need to do, get that out of the way. And then once you're ready, pull your bike in. Again, pull the main fuse, take out your old ECU, and any little gremlin piggyback stuff that you may find, like we did. And then you can pull the main fuse, do all that, install the new one. Make sure your O2s are routed. If you have an exhaust already on the bike and you're going to do all this, you do have to remove the O2s. There are specific O2 sensors that this thing uses. The plugs are different. So if you are switching, you're going to have to go that route. It's not like a piggyback or any other things. These are actual wideband O2s. That's why this ECU can do what it does. There's no way around it. The little piggyback stuff we took off is nothing compared to what we just put on. Whether you like Thundermax or not, going from a narrow band to a wideband, there's no comparison. Now, I know the Power Vision or one of the dyno jets, you can pay extra to get what they call like target tune, and you have to new O2s and I think a module, I don't know, but that's already what the Thundermax is doing. Basically the same thing, but Thundermax is completely all-in-one package. I do want to say, this video is not sponsored. I paid for this. I do want to say that. I don't want you to think that I'm being paid to do this or I got this product for free. I did get a discount, but I got a discount on almost everything I bought because most of what I bought was bought on Black Friday. Remember, this is still a budget build. I just wanted a really cool tuner. I've always wanted to try a Thundermax. The two-step is awesome because you can create a two-step on like drag racing launch control. We did test that. I might take that off. I don't know. But you can change all the parameters in the computer. You can do all that. And the biggest reason why I wanted one of these is because we do have an SNS 110 kit that we want to put in this. And I don't have to go through a bunch of stuff to do that. All I need to do is take the ECU back out enough so I can plug into it. And then we're good to go. They do make a piggyback wire that you can hook up to the ECU and you can have it on the bike at all times. I'm not going to do that. You don't have to do that. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to hook up to this thing all the time. It is what it is. I didn't want to splice any wires. That's just me. But overall, the install, pretty easy. I was a little afraid of it. I tried to watch some videos. I read instructions. I was just nervous because it's the ECU, right? It can be a big problem. But don't be worried. Just read through everything. Again, if you have any questions or whatever, I'm sure you can reach out to Thundermax. I know other people have. My dad actually runs their air ride system. It's a little bit of a side note, but Thundermax has like an automated air ride system. My dad's kind of short, so he wants suspension travel, but you know, he needs the help when the bike stops. And he had an issue one time, called them up, and they're like, well, it could be this or that, so we're just going to send you both. That was really cool of them. The customer support there was awesome. So that is like a testimony that I can actually say like their customer support is spot on. So check them out. We're going to be doing updates on this. Pretty much every part we've done on this bike, we're doing like, hey, this is us putting it on. Later, I want to do updates and reviews of these products. The install review, pretty good. It's really not that hard. It's really not that much more invasive than when I did the Power Vision on my Road Glide. Obviously, I don't have to swap out ECUs, but if the ECU was more accessible, it'd be a lot easier. It's really not that bad. Don't forget, they include dielectric grease. Put that in the connection between the ECU. You should always do that with electrical connections. It keeps corrosion out. But that's pretty much it. We are Daytona bound while we're filming this, so there's a lot of other things for me to do. So we're going to get after that. Please like this video, comment down below, say what's up. Check out the rest of the Dyna build. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We have more videos coming. But as always, keep it wretched.